The new Kodak 8mm film camera has to be a joke, right? I'm not implying that no one wants a newer 8mm film camera with some modern features built in, because I know I do, but I'm suggesting that charging almost $5,500 for it, that has to be trolling us. The reason 8mm film even exists is because of the insanely high price of 35mm film in its time, and its continuing climbing price. It caused lower film stocks like 16mm to become popular and eventually 8mm. Well, it took over for every aspiring filmmaker and dads with a little extra income and the desire to make their friends sit through the shakiest footage man has ever seen. So why then would Kodak release this camera for the price of a used FX6 in this current day? Well, let's first go back to its announcement back in January 2016 at the Consumer Electronics Show. This is when digital had been around long enough to make people nostalgic for the old film days. Film photography had just started re-emerging on the scene, and as the company who held their finger on the pulse of the American film market, they had a feeling this concept would resonate, and boy, did it. It sent shockwaves through the community when they originally dropped their new idea of combining modern functionalities with that vintage-inspired design and analog capture. At the time, it resonated particularly well in those obsessed with that film aesthetic who had grown up in the digital revolution. Before we dig into the negatives about this rig, first I want to cover the aspects of the camera that I do think were smart moves. Number one being that 4-inch flip-out screen. For a film camera, this is awesome and rare. Viewfinders were the norm. It may be something we've become accustomed to as digital camera users, but when it comes to film, that is not the case at all. I can't think of a single other consumer-grade film camera off the top of my head that has this, and for that reason alone, it's super cool. The other thing I really like about the camera is, the thing that everyone else seems to hate in our professional community, and that's the C-mount. It was really popular on these old, smaller cameras, and they can be picked up for dirt cheap compared to their newer counterparts, and the prices of lens matters. If you're looking for a camera with autofocus, tack-shark optics with the highest quality you've ever seen, then you're looking at the wrong camera here. But if you're looking to get back into film or just into working with real film stock that's not going to break the bank, well, you still got the wrong camera here. This, in my opinion, is where Kodak screwed up the absolute most. This thing may be retro, but it looks like a retro kid's toy compared to an actual 8mm film camera they're replicating. It's made of the cheapest looking plastic, with this 1990s printer power jack and a freaking micro USB to connect with. I'll say that again, a camera in 2023 with a micro USB that costs over $5,000. Unlike shooting digital, shooting real film is expensive and time consuming. This plastic camera should have been released between $500 and $800 and work as the loss leader to sell tons of film to people who have never actually experienced it. Because each of these 50-foot cartridges of motion picture 8mm film costs $40 each, and that's about 3 minutes recording time at the typical 18 frames per second for this film stock. Increase that to something more modern, like 24 frames a second, and you're only shooting for 10 minutes. That's $20 a minute to learn and experiment with a camera that just cost you $5,500 just to purchase. I get what they wanted to do here, bringing that modern era back to a place where film is cool and fun to shoot again. But at this kind of price point, the only people you will see holding these cameras are the influencers paid to promote them and the collectors that will rarely take them out of the box. It's a joke, a fake product they don't actually want to sell you. Especially considering you can still regularly pick up a functional 8mm camera on the used market for under $100. And if you're serious about getting into filming on 8mm film stock for that look, that's what I would recommend doing. Skip the hype of this plastic toy that comes in a giant Pelican case because they know how fragile it really is. Go to your local camera shop and ask someone there for help. Heck, they might even be so happy someone's interested in 8mm film, they'll give you the camera just for buying that film. That's how available these cameras are out there right now. Thanks to my members who support keep this channel running smoothly, and do the YouTube thing by liking and subscribing if you made it this far. Keep rocking and rolling, enjoy what you're doing, make smart business decisions by not buying this hunko junk. And let me know in the comments down below what you think of this camera. What do you think of Kodak's move here? And if you're going to purchase it, why or why not? Would you purchase it at a lower price point? Either way, I'll catch you next time. Ooh, that was a loud boom. Wow. I don't know how to end this on the green screen. I'm used to being over there on the desk and just trying something new. Well, if you like the green screen, let me know, especially for those of you who have been around for a while. It's not easy to do, but it's easy to keep doing now that it's set up. What do you like better, green screen or studio backdrop? You let me know. Catch you next time. Peace.